Hey, what is up everybody, Blaze for here, and today I for you guys another video of freaking Persona 5X here. And inside today's video, guys, we're going to be going over every last build for each character here, and which is just going to be a brief, like, of course, these are the stats you want to go for, the card sets, as well as their Arcana sets. And we're just going to be quickly going over these guys, because I know a lot of you guys have been needing this here. And for my actual major kit breakdowns, it takes me some time to actually make those guys. So this was actually a person who made this on Bilibili. Luckily for us, we had our man Tycon find it, and he actually ended up translating it here. So we have both spreadsheets, or both sheets here, that tells you everything you need to know about the characters. So without further ado, you guys, let's go ahead and get straight into it. You won't believe this. I wish I had the bloopers, but yeah, your boy was talking to himself and didn't notice I didn't have the record button on. So yeah, that actually made me angry a little bit, but let's get straight into it. So first things first, there are some card sets I don't agree with fully, but I do understand why they're like this. So you'll see some of my characters that are built a little differently, but I do have to say a lot of them are pretty dang decent here. So if we go ahead, take a look at our characters here, we're gonna immediately start with the man Ryuji, seeing that he is on the top here. Now Ryuji, as we do know, is straight up physical DPS, crazy mans. Does a lot of damage when he can get around to it. So what you want to go ahead and build, if we take a look at the chart here, is the set that helps out his physical damage here, as well as use HP damage bonus, crit damage, and attack percentage. Along with this here, you want to have the substats of crit damage, damage bonus, and attack percentage, of course, here, which really can be helpful. Now, of course, if you do have pin, or I want to say, I think it's defense pin here, that's also pretty decent. You can swap that out with crit damage at times, but it is going to be very interesting to see how your substats play out, and that's going to be overall very interesting. Now, the reason you want to have this little 4 set, it does help out his overall, at least the physical damage here, and helps out his last 2 hits, or at least the last 2 rounds. So dealing a critical hit, that's usually going to be used for one of his moves that actually takes up a little bit of a turn as well. But it's also because of his card that he runs with this. Now, the card that he runs with this here is going to be this one, which actually helps out his electric attribute damage and his physical attribute damage. So this is actually going to be really good to actually go ahead and use. And then, of course, if it's a single target here, the effect is actually increased to 24%. So he's doing a lot more damage in general. But that's just the first one. We also have to look at Panther here, being another character that we're going to be trying to check out here, in which Panther herself has a lot to offer. Now, Panther's also one of those characters that is one of a main DPS side of things. She just needs a little bit of a team to kind of get everything perfectly set to the perfection it needs to be. For her card set, you want to use HP damage bonus, crit rate, and attack percentage, while also having crit stats, either crit rate or crit damage, damage bonus, attack, and then of course have those 2 card sets. Now, for these 2 card sets here, I'm going to go ahead and go straight into it immediately here. This one is going to be the dispute set, which is going to be mainly for fire damage. As we do know, we want to get a lot of that fire damage off with her. Really going to come in handy for guild boss, especially for those guys. And then of course we want to go ahead and use, I think it was this card here, because I don't have any versions of it here, which is acceptance. Now, pretty much increases your attack power for each enemy here. Normally, if you're using her, he's going to be using a lot of AoE stuff in general. So of course, bring her to those major fights where you know there's going to be a lot of shadows in your face here. So the more enemies, the better. This can actually make her absolutely cracked, of course, and really will help her out a lot. So surely do use that set for her. And it's one of the few that I agree on. Now, if we go ahead and take a look at the next character here, that is going to be the man Cattle. And yes, I will have timestamps down below, so do not worry about that. We got the man Cattle here. Now, Cattle himself is one of those few that I didn't quite agree on. I had him kind of weird here at first, had him mainly built onto the attack percentage side of things, but I didn't think about the card set itself, right? I was using the main offensive type card set for him, and it didn't work very well, but I see where they're going with this here, of course. You have, of course, that little split decision of HP from the actual card set, and then, of course, you're mainly getting a lot of your substats and stuff, or main stats, are going to be related to attack percentage and speed. So of course, for your first one, you want to have HP. Second one, you want to have attack or HP. Third one, you want to have attack or HP. And then your final one at the 4th slot, being the Saturn Moon here, you want to have speed. As for the substats, you want to go ahead and try and get attack, HP, speed, and speed can be swapped out with effect hit rate. It's honestly up to you, but I do suggest try to stick with speed here so he's able to get up to the plate and heal up your entire team. Pretty decent for his whole character, but let's go ahead and keep moving. Now going into the next character here, that is going to be the man Key himself, one of the few characters I really want to start the build, but my dang team's been taking ages to get built. But yeah, definitely want to build this character here. All you need to know for him is HP is the way to go, without a doubt. Do not change it. So pretty much for him, use the life set, in which is this little set here. As you can see right next to it, that life set, you want to use it. Definitely helpful, helps him out a lot. It will help out overall his whole deal, in which is his whole kit, and that's going to be insane. Now the whole life set looks like this if you guys needed the closer look here, which gives him more value to life here. And of course, based on the primary target, he will actually be able to deal more damage based on their life value, and which does additional damage for him. So this is really, really good. Just know you need HP on everything. Anything you need, it has to be HP, including you want a lot of HP on this card as well, because this will help him out quite a lot here. Because when you do have these guys together, you're gonna be getting yourself some really, really nice buffs here. Now, I think it was, since we are using this card here, let me take a look at Cattle, because I think he has the actual set on currently. And if you use this card together, you are getting awareness and sovereignty, which helps out your flame damage here to certain monsters or shadows. And then if they're burning, you get an extra 6% here. But when consuming this, it increases your attack power by 19% for 2 whole turns, which can be very, very helpful, especially seeing that Key kind of has to set up anyways. So definitely a good character to use that set on. I think that's really the best way to run him. Now going into our next character here, we are going to be taking a look at Mont. Now Mont's one of the few characters that I've been accidentally building here. For her, you want to use HP, damage bonus, crit damage, and attack here as well. When it comes down to the set, at least the substats, crit damage or pin, damage bonus or attack or crit rate. So the last few that you have, you actually have a lot to be like or with. So she fits with a lot of those cases, but she's going to be your main DPS. Now for a lot of you guys, you know Yusuke's coming out, right? Building her is going to be really, really helpful, because of course she does go in Yusuke's team. But of course, if you don't pull for Yusuke, and a lot of you probably are trying to save for Makoto, then you want to go ahead and keep her kind of, get her built up in general. Now, as I did say, for her card set, you want to have HP, damage bonus, crit damage, and attack percentage. I'm still building mine, as you guys can tell right here. Like, your boy's been busy. Like, yeah, we've been doing a little bit too much when it does come down to our sets here. This is another one here. We have the damage bonus on, looking really, really good. And then I got to change this to crit damage, but right now this is just going to sit on her until later. But who knows? I probably actually got her a crit damage one. I haven't really looked through it in a minute here, but you want to have crit damage immediately as well, so that will help you out quite a lot. And then you want to have attack percentage being your last little card here, which that one always does not want to get picked up for some reason. But attack percentage is usually what you want to have here. Anything else you don't really need on her. But other than that, you want to use the Arcana card here that will help out her for the blast effect for additional damage and things like that. So surely do keep that in mind. Other than that, definitely good build. I definitely like that one here, and I do agree with it. Now, all right, so checking out the next build here, which is going to be for the man Soy. He's just like Key. HP is literally his lifeline. You want that man to make sure he's doing the most he can deal for your team. Get HP on the man. So speed, of course, is one of those things you can have on him. Particularly for me, I don't want him to be ultra speedy, because that messes up my my actual team here for Guild Boss. But pretty much make sure you have the 4 set that I currently have on, and then have the same Arcana card. This will help him out a lot when he comes down to defense shred, and utterly will help you out with your team. And he can tank a little bit of he could take a huge beating, so that's really, really good for him. I currently don't have another HP piece for him. I think I was just using this until I got another HP for the most part. But we have him with some offensive things, but just keep him only with HP, right? HP is what's going to make his life be easy as a mug, and that will help you out in the long run. So keep that in mind. But all right, so going over Soy here, we're going to be talking about the girl Yui or Bui here, in which she is fairly interesting here. She's one of those other characters that I've been trying to heavily build here, in which for her at A0, oh well, first HP, damage bonus, and then if you have A0, use crit rate. If you have A1, use crit damage. And then for the last one, you want to go ahead and use attack. Now this makes very much so a lot of sense here. I originally with this plan was like, I don't know, but it actually makes a lot of sense with her. With this, certainly I have her built the same current way. You want to use that same at least Arcana card here, giving you that nice blast effect for additional, which is really, really nice here. And then of course, for her substats, you want to aim for crit rate, damage bonus, attack. But of course, if you have A1, right? If you do have A1, there is no need for crit rate. This is one of the few things I was using before I got A1, and I have not replaced it. But technicality wise, I guess I should technically replace it with this one. And actually, you know what? We might just go ahead and do that. Yeah, I want to go ahead and give that a try anyway. So yoink, let's just take that from her, do a quick swaparoo here, in which this is what you want to run if you have A1. If you do have her A1, go ahead and toss on the crit damage. If you don't, go ahead and toss on the crit rate. And then for substats, of course, I already said those. Try to follow those to the T, because this will make her hit like a absolute madman. But go ahead and checking out Closer here, one of the other characters that of course I just got through looking at a little bit. She actually needs to use a few things that I wasn't aware of. So with her, you want to go ahead and use HP, attack, EHR, effect, hit rate, speed here. Now I didn't think till like late last night while I was like trying to like build kits in my head how much EHR is actually needed on her, because you want to proc that shock that she's able to do. That's one of the few things I wasn't taking into account with her build here, but it makes a lot of sense. So you want to go ahead and use EHR, but another thing that you want to go ahead and do is use the HP set. I know, crazy, right? Yeah, heck crazy. I was building her like a DPS. I guess if you don't have Yui, you could use the DPS function here. But if you do have Yui and stuff like that, use the HP set. Reason being, this character is only meant to help you set up. Let's get that straight. Only meant to help you set up. She's not meant for anything else, and her behind is absolutely just dog water when she has no health. So you need actually a good set on her. It's going to help you out so freaking much and actually keep her alive. So be sure to use, of course, the HP life set, which is going to be the one that Soy had, and then also have what is it called, this card on as well, because having this on increases her attack power overall in general, while also reducing the defense of the attacking enemy. That's going to be really, really helpful. You guys definitely got to use it. I wish I knew it sooner, but it definitely now clicks, and I would feel like this would be very, very helpful for you guys. All right, so now going ahead and checking out the next character here, which is the character I'm going to be covering tomorrow, or at least in tomorrow's video. It is Mona. Now Mona is one of the few characters I've been trying to build up pretty dang well here. He uses HP, healing bonus, crit rate, and speed here, really taking priority of the substats of speed, crit rate, crit damage, and attack. Speed can be kind of factored out a little bit here. Just make sure you have that crit rate, because you want him to hit those crit heals and be able to heal your entire team as good as possible here. So if we go ahead and we take a little bit of a look-see here when it does come down to his whole thing here, I have him currently with a couple 4 stars here, which are pretty decent, but their substats kind of weird, right? So you want HP, healing bonus, crit rate, and attack percentage is what you want. But then when it comes down to the substats, you want to have speed, crit rate, crit damage, and attack, and then run with the Arcana card, this one right here. Now this allows you to, of course, heal whenever you, at least heal more whenever you hit a critical, which is like 28%. And then when this is consumed, it actually increases your attack power by 19% for 2 whole turns. So every time you crit heal, you're getting that nice old 19% attack power right there, which is absolutely nice here. And you can hit your lucky punches or hit either your gale attacks, dealing a decent bit of damage while also healing up your entire team. I think that's probably the best thing that you can go with when it comes down to this character. And yeah, definitely want to think that's good. Now coming down to the next character, which is Fleuret, one of the few characters that is absolutely not used a lot here. This character, I'll be honest with you, I have not tried the build here. I think I was tossing things on him. Yeah, I was tossing this set on him, which is the set you do need, of course, right? This helped out gale damage, which is pretty dang decent for him. When it comes down to the stats that you need, you want to go ahead and have HP, damage bonus, crit rate, and attack. Of course, he is the kind of DPS gale character that's out currently. Seeing that we don't have one of these dudes just yet, he is that type of character. So with this, of course, substats, you need crit substats, so either crit rate, crit damage, damage bonus, and attack. I definitely want to try and mess around with it because now that I know how to build this character, I think it'll be a little bit more fun, especially seeing that I actually do have homie duped out. So I want to test out and see exactly what he's capable of anyways here. But that's how you would end up building him. When it does come down to the card set, or at least the Arcana set here, you want to make sure you're using this one here because additional damage is triggered whenever you have the reveal set card, or at least the card that you're wearing, the effect triggers here. Now, this is going to be damage to the target increased by 12%, which actually will help out his attack power by 19% for 2 whole turns. I think this is absolutely going to be amazing with his kit. I still have to experiment with this guy a lot, so we're going to figure out exactly how that works. Now, thank you to all you guys. If you made it this far, be sure to comment down below, hashtag builds or something down below to let me know that you made it this far. And of course, if you also made this far and you're here and you're not subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It does help me out a lot. And then hit that like button as well. Helps us get into the algorithm on YouTube as well. But let's just go ahead and go into the next character. Now, Riddle is one of the few characters that I actually am starting to build. I was building her a decent bit, but I stopped, and then we gotta kind of change her a little bit. But you want to use the 4 little regular set that we usually got a lot of course, for the offense. And then of course you want to have the trust set on her. This is the one that I've been having for her for the most part here. As for the substats you want to go for, it's a HP, attack, and speed. All you want for substats is attack and speed. Attack mainly taking priority, and you just want to do whatever you got here. So I started building her a little bit. I don't think I had another attack card here, which is why I think I just tossed this on here. Yeah, I think I just tossed these on here, unfortunately, because I don't think we had another attack built here. You know, we'll just take this off and put that on. That'll be better for her anyways. But taking into account at least the attack and speed here, she does pretty darn well, right? She's really just meant to just speed up, help out your team when it does come down to the buffs that they do need in hand. And I think that you guys would really succeed when it does come down to that as well. So fairly interesting to see how her build is actually correct, because I honestly thought I would have to change her. But for her attack, well, HP, attack, and speed is the way to go around for it to really get you up there and boost up your teammates. Next is Moko. Now, Moko is one of those few characters I have not really touched on too much. I can't really do much about this character just yet because I have not really sat down. I want to say I haven't really sat down and actually decided, you know, what I really want to do with this here. So, if we go ahead and take a look at Moko here, we go over to the right. Yeah, she's at low 50. She actually uses the offense set as well. Now, I don't think she has anything on her currently, but yeah, you want to use the 4 set of the offense set, which if you guys don't know how that looks, of course, it is something like this. And for her priority for main stats is HP on the first one, attack on the second one, attack on the third, and speed on the fourth one. Mainly prioritizing attack and speed. And then you want to have that trust card that I showed you guys earlier that was on our Riddle, and put that on her as well, because she kind of reacts just like a Riddle herself and helps out with at least a little bit of damage while also reducing the opponent's defense here with one of her skills. She's really helpful, especially when you can get her to work. It's just, if you really want to utilize her the best, you definitely want to have her as high duped as possible, because that's where she shines the most here. But all right, so going ahead and taking a look at the next character, which is going to be Leon, one of the few characters that absolutely is a disappointment to me. Love the character currently, absolutely hate that he's getting so dirty, but he does the same thing as the last 2, same main stats here, HP, attack, and speed here with the trust card. Comes in handy for overall his kit, especially seeing that he's mainly of that buffer type mortality here, so he's going to need a lot of that attack stats while also speeding up to actually give you those said buffs. but buffers, you really just gonna build them that way. Now when it comes down to our next character, which is Yuki here, Yuki, you want to go ahead and build her with the defense set, which is on my I think it's on my puppet currently. Let me go ahead and make sure. For you guys who don't know what the defense set looks like, it is going to be this one here. This is going to help out your defense in general, in which Yuki is going to need that when it comes down to shielding whoever she needs to shield here. Her main stats are going to be HP, defense, and speed here, as you guys can see on the chart, in which you want to go ahead and only prioritize defense substats. When it comes down to at least the Arcana card, you want to use the one that has a weird looking horse on it here, of course, in which you go ahead and take a look at this one. That would be, go ahead and see if I can find him. Where did he go? Yeah, here he is here. In which each time a shield is added, the defense of the monster affected by the shield is increased. So of course, whoever has the shield on, you're getting that increased damage here, or at least increased effect here. And this will last for 2 turns and can be stacked up to 3 times. Especially when it comes down to Yuki and you are going to be needing that extra little, I want to say, buff right there. That's going to really come in handy, especially when it comes down to that. So surely do look at that as well. Now going ahead and looking at the next character, which is the man Joker. Now I do agree with this character set. I agree even with the goddamn main stats. I think our Joker is still kind of flip-flopped currently because I don't want to get rid of this on him. Like, there's a reason why he hits so hard, and this is the freaking reason. I don't got that 4th stat set here, but holy Christ, does this man hit hard. Not getting rid of this until I really have to, but for the 4th set, you want to go ahead and use the whole curse set here. And originally you really want to go ahead and use this here, because when you are defeating an enemy here, you're getting the 30% attack boost, which will last 3 rounds. Now if you're like me, or if you have your Joker at least a 1, when you defeat that enemy, you can literally just start the steamroll. So keep that in mind. If a boss has little minions with him, you knock out that dang minion, you're going to be getting that 30% extra damage for 3 whole turns. So make them count. It's going to be crazy, and he will deal some crazy damage. When it comes down to his main stats, of course, you want to go ahead and use HP, damage bonus, crit rate, and attack percent. I said something familiar to this, especially when it came down to my video here, in which I have him currently on HP, attack, crit rate, and another attack percent. But instead of having attack here, you want to go ahead and do damage bonus and see how he does. It does make a lot of sense because of course having too much attack without that damage bonus could very well actually affect him to a decent degree. So of course, make sure you have damage bonus in the 2nd moon slot, and that will help you out a ton more than having just double attack. But let's go ahead and go into Rin. Now Rin was the one I didn't particularly agree with. I understand why her build is this, and that's because she's just like the other buffers, right? You want to have a way that she can sustain herself while also promoting your team to the best, and then of course utilizing a ton of speed here to help her out to the plate. So all you care about for her substats is straight up speed. All you care about for her cards is technically straight up speed. Any card will do as long as she has speed. Now the card set was what I didn't agree with, right? I used this one for attack, at least attack stacking for my enhancement levels, and that's personally what I use here, and she works like a charm. I need to still try the other one here, which is going to utilize this here, and I'm trying to remember which one this one would be here. I gotta think about which one this would be here. So let's quickly go ahead and take a look at Soy real fast, because I think I have the card set on him, in which of course if you do have this card set on, you're also still getting, yeah, okay, this is a defense shredder. Now since she is a debuffer that actually isn't really bound to any team, it makes a lot of sense for her to only be focusing on that defense shred. So in all honesty, it is a better set to go with. Don't try to go with what is it called, don't try to go with what I have, which is just straight up the offensive side of things. It does work out really well. I still do recommend it, but of course if you are going for like what is it called, more of a solidified type deal, you could use this set as well, which is mainly focused with just straight up speed and mainly getting that defense shred off. So and that, I say it's pretty decent. You guys can still decide which one you want to go for. If you don't know what I'm talking about, especially for my build, be sure to go ahead and check out that video. in which it's actually on the channel as well, one of the first guides I've done, so check that out. But when it comes down to the next character here, we're going to be looking at Sepia. I'm trying to at least get this done because my voice is starting to die. But looking at Sepia here, he's one of the few other characters I haven't gotten around to building here, but you want to go ahead and use the 4-set curse set here, which is the one that our man Joker has on. You want to use that curse set immediately here, and you want to prioritize mainly crit rate substats, or at least crit rate and crit damage substats here, while also having attack and damage bonus. Now this is one of the few characters that he is a DOT character, so you do need a lot of attack on him. Make sure you have HP in the first slot, have attack in the second slot, crit rate in the third slot, and then attack in the fourth slot. He's really going to benefit off of this because he is meant to do those DOT type deals here, so surely do keep that in mind. Now when it does come down to his main card, or his Arcana card, you want to use at least the one that is this one, which is an awareness, and which will help you out quite a lot. I think this one for the interference here, in which increases your attack power for each damage dealt to the enemy in a negative state. So this is pretty much by his little DOT buffs, or DOT debuffs here. Whenever they get hit by those guys, you get a 9% at least attack power increase, which the effect will last for 1 round and can be stacked by 3 levels. So surely do keep that in mind. That's going to make him really busted, especially if you do have him max out. I still want to get his weapon because, ooh baby, we're gonna have some fun when you can get that last stinking dupe. So it's gonna be crazy when we get him up. Next thing we know, to last two, of course, gonna be the actual navigators here, and one of them is gonna be Okayann. These two are kind of, I guess you could say, straightforward, pretty easy to know how to build them. But you want to go ahead and use the attack set on Okayann here, while also utilizing, if I'm right, it's called Truth on them as well. I currently had this one on just because I legitimately did not have another card at the time. I haven't went back and built her, but you want to have this one on here, being able to at least stack the enhancement levels. Now, if you guys are wondering, why does she need DPS substats? It's because navigators give a little bit of their actual stats to your team themselves. So it's always good to at least cater to at least your main DPS here, being that you need attack substats like crazy. You want your DPS to really be pushing your team a lot, and that is what we want to look forward to. So of course with her, you want to make sure that you are utilizing HP on the main stat, attack on the main stat here. Then you want to have crit rate or crit damage, which I don't have either on this one yet. And then you want to go ahead and have attack as the last stat as well. This will all contribute to your whole team here, and make sure that the substats, no matter what they are the same as your main DPS. So for me, seeing that I am building Joker heavily, right? I'm mainly centering my team around Joker here. Any substats that I got with Joker, so crit rate, crit damage, damage bonus, stuff like that, attack percentage, stuff like that, you want to go ahead and make sure she has that same thing to really push forward your main DPS. That will be very helpful. Now lastly, we're going to go ahead and go over the last one here, which is going to be Puppet. Puppet herself is also one of those characters that's absolutely amazing here, and you want to build her mainly on the defensive side. Now when it comes down to her whole set immediately here, you want to only use the defense set here, helping you out with the shield immediately, and then you want to use the card that we currently have on her, which will help you out with at least adding more defense on your characters here. That will last for 2 turns, and it can be stacked. Seeing that she is a defense related character, this is really good. Now, just like Okayann, she does give her stats to other people, so make sure that she has some defense, or at least DPS main stats is what you want, or at least DPS substats is what you want for your main DPS here. Now, you're gonna have HP, defense, crit rate or crit damage, and another defense stat help you out with that shield, but you also want to go ahead and take advantage with those substats to help out your main DPS. This will help you with the shield department while also giving you that crazy bonus that you really want to look for. But holy crap, that was a mouthful. We got every character done here. I'm going to actually do a video of these characters separate, of course, as I go by. As I did say earlier, if I'm right, I said it. We are doing Morgana as our next character, like our actual full-on character, what's it called, build, in which I will go way more in depth with these kits. So if you guys want to see those really in-depth type kit, these things here, be sure to tell me down below in the comment section. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Woo, we got a lot to do today. Peace out, everybody.